joy of a track day is that you can turn up in whatever car you own and drive as fast as you want. No speed limits, no traffic jams, you can just turn up and enjoy your own car. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, someone just might let you drive their own car on a circuit. Well, today I am the luckiest person in the entire world because we're here at the motor circuit, it's a track day, and I'm not driving my own car, I'm driving a McLaren 620R. McLaren has built the 620R to bridge the gap between race car and road car, a halfway house between the regular 570S road car and the 570S GT4 car, and a more focused car than even the 600LT. McLaren took the 570S GT4 it launched in 2017, and which has since won races and championships all over the world, and tried to distill some of that motorsport goodness down into a sports series road car. But McLaren also looked at the GT4 and asked what could be added if it didn't have rules and regulations to abide by. The result is a very serious track machine, the most powerful sports series car McLaren has ever built, and a rare machine at that, with just 225 made. So the plan today is to take this out and enjoy it on track. That's what it's been built for. So we could take it and get some milk and take it to the shops, do normal things, but it's been built to be enjoyed on the track, so why not enjoy it on the track? Now there is one thing that we need to talk about before we go out, and that is Aero, because it'd be pointless building a race-inspired car if you didn't add some of the race's bits and bobs. So there's a new splitter, new front bumper, new bonnet. Air gets channeled in and up and out of these nostrils and out over the top of the car. There are also these dive planes. In total, on the front axle, you've got 65 kilograms of extra downforce. Now come with me to the middle. Also got these little vents here, they vent air out from above the tyres. In the middle here, you've got this scoop. Helps with cooling, helps with in-car acoustics, but if you want it, you get the scoop, carbon roof, titanium exhaust, a few other bits and bobs. That'll set you back £25,000. Probably worth it though, isn't it? If you're going to do it properly. And then at the back, we have the wing, GT4 inspired wing, 32 centimeters high. The only difference between this and the GT4 car is there's a brake light, which obviously you have to have, and these edges have been smoothed off for obvious safety reasons. It's just cool looking, isn't it? I can't stop grinning when I see it because it adds so much theatre over the standard 570S. I mean, look at it. I can't stop grinning, I'm sorry. Some elements of the 620R are very familiar. The engine is the same 3.8 litre twin-turbo V8 and the gearbox is the same 7-speed double clutch, but both have been tweaked. The engine uses stiffer engine mounts, and power and torque are up to 620 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 620 Nm at 5,500 to 6,500 RPM respectively. That makes it more powerful than both the 570S and the 600LT. As for the box, the Woking boffins have created what's called McLaren inertia push technology, where excess flywheel energy delivers a boost of torque during upshifts. And McLaren hasn't slacked elsewhere. The 620R uses the GT4's two-way adjustable dampers, with 32 clicks of adjustment per corner for compression and rebound. These dampers save 6 kilograms of weight too. There are lighter aluminium wishbones and uprights, stiffer anti-roll bars and stiffer springs too, and the rubber top mounts have been binned for stainless steel units. The brakes are carbon ceramic, with 390mm front discs and 380mm rears, and 6-piston forged aluminium calipers front and 4-piston calipers rear. On top of all of that, you can run slicks. McLaren has developed a bespoke set of Pirelli slicks with an 8% larger contact patch than the regular P0 Trofeo Rs. The magic here is that they can be chopped and changed without the need for changes to the suspension, and even run on the same wheels, 19 inches up front and 20 inches at the rear. First of all, powertrain. It is absolutely ferocious. There we go, into the chicane now, third gear. I'm going to second, out the chicane. Wants to spin its wheels. Oh. There we go, we're away, we're flying. It is electric. It's got such a buzz to it in a way the standard 570S just doesn't have. And as well, I know it'll sound probably cliche to talk about it, but you don't just get the whoosh from the turbocharger, you don't just get that spooling up, but you do really notice the rush of air through that roof scoop. It is, yeah, a bit cliche to say it, but when people talk about cars sounding like Darth Vader, that deep intake of breath, that's 100% what you're getting here. Now the difficult thing is, for weeks and weeks building up to this, the circuit's been lovely and dry. We've had dry weather, had my shorts on, it's been beautiful sunshine, and then today, rain, and some more rain. Right, basic performance, 0 to 62, 2.9 seconds, 0 to 124 miles an hour, 8.1 seconds, and a top speed of 200 miles an hour. I can tell you, in the wet today, that feels like plenty of performance for me. The gearbox, absolutely ferocious. On the way up, on the way down. Changes are instantaneous. There's still a bit of a kick to them. It's not like a PDK perhaps where they're perfectly smooth all of the time. There's still a kick from them, but in this, well, it makes it quite a physical experience, perhaps more so than if there was nothing there at all. And then comes the steering. The steering, probably the best bit of this car, because it's hydraulic, so you can just feel absolutely everything. When you're on cold tyres in the morning, when you're just trying to warm them up first lap, you can feel the nose start to push. And once you've got some more temperature in the tyres, that starts to go away and you can feel it through the wheel. Every little bump, every time there's a bit of slip like there is then, tiny bit of understeer, you can just feel it. You know exactly what's going on. What about the car's drive modes? Well, McLaren has always done it quite simply, really. You've got a little panel down here, the active panel, and there are two little switches basically. There's a button that says active, and then on top of that you've got one switch for the handling and one switch for the powertrain. You can have each of them in normal, in sport, and then track. So if you want, if you're in a 570S and you have the regular dampers, you have the ride in comfort, you can have the powertrain in track. Of course we can't do that because we've got proper adjustable dampers on, so it doesn't have quite the same use. But what I like is that it's very easy to get exactly what you want. You can have things dialed down, you can have the powertrain as shouty as you like, which is what I'm doing at the moment, and I can tell you it's quite spiky. As well as upgrades to bring extra performance, McLaren has sprinkled some lightweight magic throughout the interior. The seats are huge carbon fibre buckets with 6-point harnesses for the track and seatbelts for the road. The centre console has been raised to make it easier to use on track, and there's carbon fibre everywhere. There's also no carpet, no glove box, and the aircon, navigation and audio system do not come as standard. Happily though, it doesn't cost anything to have them put back in. And as for this cabin, well, it's interesting because there are so many bits in here that are classic McLaren. You've got the little active panel down here, you can go through the drive modes. You've got, one of my favourite things about McLarens are the gear levers, because it's on a rocker. So you can, if you really want to, push the down paddle away from you and you go up a gear. I really like that. Having these slightly longer paddles does actually make a difference, and so does having this centre console raised up a little bit, because of the size of these seats. If it was where it is in a 570S, it'd just be a bit more of a stretch. So when you're on a track, you don't really want to be thinking about where certain buttons are. To just reach down, feel something physical controls as well, makes a big difference. And what would make a difference is this little red notch at the 12 o'clock, if you've got a bit of lock on. But I don't really feel like that today. Not when it's as greasy as this is. What a way to send off the Sports Series. The big question is a 620R worth it? Is it worth spending the extra money over a 570S or a 600LT? In some ways, no, it isn't. Both the 570S and the 600LT have the same hydraulic power steering, and both are monstrously fast, to the point where many regular track day drivers still wouldn't be able to extract the maximum from them after hours of pounding around a track. But there are plenty of people around who are very happy to pay for something that's harder, faster and with less weight. Cars with a sprinkling of motorsport tech. If that's you, and you fancy something from Woking rather than Stuttgart or Maranello, rest assured the 620R feels every bit the race-inspired track car it needs to. And perhaps more importantly, with its huge rear wing, orange paint, carbon roof scoop, it does what a supercar should and puts a childish grin on your face after every single drive. As a send-off to the Sports Series, this is quite a good one.